Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. I hope everyone is doing okay. Okay, this video is prepare now, expect the unexpected. Like what? And then after we expect it, what are we going to do about it? So this is like brainstorming and everyone hates it. That's why nobody wants to do it. But if you have in your mind something could happen, you just knowing it could happen helps. Okay, I'll go through these quickly because there's a lot. Somebody is going to do something stupid. If any of you are divorced, you know on any given day, someone could do something stupid. And we could have a grid down. Somebody could hack us and we wouldn't have any internet and you couldn't watch my wonderful videos. That would be a shame. But you couldn't go to the grocery store. You couldn't go to the gas station. You couldn't get your money out of the bank. All kinds of bad things would happen. Number two, war. That could happen. We have two ongoing. We could have an invasion. We could have bombs, armed humans, war. Number three, food shortage. Well, anything can cause that. Crop failure. If the supply chain was disrupted, weather. No water, a tax on our water source, like dams, like some kind of contamination. 5, no gasoline, like a gasoline shortage. Disease, we had the pandemic, it could be anything. It could be foodborne, airborne, bacterial, it could be anything. Natural disasters, earthquakes, fires, hurricanes, tornadoes, hail, and floods. Probably the worst being floods. Number 7, no toilet paper and no baby formula. Not necessarily in that order. 8, civil war before the upcoming election. 9, border crossing, closing of the borders. 10, moving towards a one-party government or a one-world government. Restricted travel and universal basic income. Currency collapse leading to universal basic income, which is social welfare. Going backwards, a lower standard of living, no job, and UBI. Like in the olden days, like it was a long time ago. People didn't live as well as they do now. 15-minute cities. So what would happen is the population would be pushed into cities, and everything you need would be in your apartment building. You have a grocery store, you would have stores, you would have anything you might possibly want, or it would be within the city. They would love that. And it would be quiet cities with a curfew. We would have terrarium-like parks, and life would be great. There used to be this thing called overpopulation. Healthcare crisis. Cost of prescriptions could go up. Okay, I don't know if any of you are on high blood pressure medicine, but it went from $250 to $300 last month. Medical, dental, and vision care less available. Weather events, even heat waves. Unemployment. So at this time, it's best to start creating your own job of some sort. Stock market crash. Okay, if we have a stock market crash, probably going to lead to a depression. Small apartments and less home ownership. So we'll be like in these little apartments, these little cubicles. We can go to the terrarium-like settings, and it'll be like 20 years and back, like what the aliens did to the humans. Okay, this is a good one. Growing thrift store business. Now there's a magazine out, Thrifting, how to get your living your best life, thrifting. Online shopping in restaurants and closing of shopping centers. The thing about online shopping is you don't get to pick your item. Somebody throws it in a box and here's your item. Rationing, that's going on right now. We'll go into that. Homeless housing, like when these shopping centers close, maybe that's going to be the homeless homes. Self-education, online classes, homeschool, online information, everything is done for yourself online. Invasion of the AI to track us and connect us. That's what we are doing here on YouTube. Less social interaction. So you have to create your own. You have to get some good friends, find some nice people, and start interacting with your own friends. Okay, and Sunday in Houston, Joel Osteen, a woman 30 to 35 walked into the mega church with a child, that's unexpected, and began shooting, was killed by law enforcement. That was probably unexpected on her part. Okay, now here is a good one. Militia targeting your resources. Maybe your resources might be needed for the army or something. Okay, so now, how is anybody supposed to learn how to be poor? And how is anybody supposed to know what to do about this? Okay, I have my inputs. Here we go. All right, I am so old because I'm almost 69. People had ice boxes and they were square wood crates that you put ice in. And so now we have advanced ice boxes, these things called coolers, and we should all have quite a few in case something happens. You can also keep water in your coolers. Okay, so now if you have to clean your cooler, 1 part vinegar, 2 parts water, but if I know this because I bought coolers with mold and then I cleaned them up, or else I got them dumpster diving. And when I was an EMT or any like hospital stuff, 1 part bleach, 9 parts water, you can clean your coolers like that. Okay, prepare for a famine. One is probably on the way. Why? The Bible says when the white horse in Revelations comes with a bow and a crown, he will either be the Christ or the Antichrist. And he will bring war, and it will be exercised on moral ground, like killing of innocents. Then I saw the heavens open, and behold, a white horse, the one sitting on it called Faithful and True. He judges, and he restores righteousness, because with him comes war. So all this shedding of innocent blood is probably going to result in maybe war and famine. Okay, now let's talk about what we need. Okay, we need bread. If there's anything, if you don't know, you need, it's bread. So bread and butter. So okay, today I made this butter, and all I did was I put my heavy cream in the blender, and I said, I wonder if I can make the whole thing in one, here it is, in one batch. And so if you have bread, butter, and tea, you can survive. This half is very soft because I couldn't believe it. This stuff, almost the whole thing whipped up. I just had a little milk left over, and it was so delicious, I drank it. So I put vinegar in this side to make buttermilk, and when I came back, that whole side had solidified into butter. So I will freeze this, and then we need bread. Okay, well, here's one of my plates that I bought for 5 million views, and I have one left because I broke one. And so what I started doing is I started making, this is potato bread, and I like making everything in individual sizes. So I'm trying to make all of the food I make. This is really a soft dough this time. Look. And okay, I'll have some homemade butter on one side. You get used to eating homemade butter. Okay, is this a gallon? This is a gallon. It was $10, but this is a lot of butter, which is good because I'm going to be doing some cooking. Yum. And then I can drink it with my tea. I want to give you the recipe for fry bread. Mix 1 cup flour, 1.5 teaspoons baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon salt. Mix that all together. You can add a 1/4 cup powdered milk if you have it. Then add 1 cup of hot water. Stir that around to make a soft dough. Cover it, and then after about 20 minutes, knead it in a little flour and fry it in hot oil. So you're always going to have bread. So at the least, you would need flour, baking powder, and baking soda. Now I want to give you, I spent a long time looking for good bread recipes, and this is my favorite. 1 1/4 cup, I made half a batch. 1 1/4 cup water, 2 tablespoons butter, 2 tablespoons sugar, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 1 package of yeast or 1.5 teaspoons, and 3 1/4 cup flour. Okay, I had instant potatoes, so I put a 1/4 cup instant potatoes in. And then I wanted to make buttery bread, so I had this soft, what was like this soft side. I put a 1/4 cup, because if you have buttery bread and you didn't have any butter, you know, you could get by on that. Now let me get, so what I did is I mixed all the dry ingredients, which was the flour, 3/4 cup, salt, and 2 tablespoons sugar, and then I melted a 1/4 cup butter, but it says 2 tablespoons. Then I had 1 1/4 cup water, and I had this, I bought 2 of these. Says I want to have plenty of yeast, plenty of baking soda, and plenty of baking powder. Let me give you the recipe right down here. And you just knead it a little, and I only raise it 1 time, and then I put a lot of this soft butter on my top of my bread. It's very tasty. All right, so you want bread, and you want butter, and you want tea. Okay, so for butter, you need heavy cream. One time my customer and I got in an argument. What would be worse? She was from Europe. Would it be worse to be without milk, or it would be worse to be without cheese? And I go, oh no, it'd be worse to be without milk, because then you couldn't have gravy on your bread. She said, oh no, it would be worse to be without cheese. And I thought, yeah, that is kind of true. I thought about it back and forth. So let's go to bread, and then let's go to dairy. Now, this is like, you don't have everything you need. You can't afford meat. So in spite of inflation, U.S. is the highest dairy consumer. So cheese, yogurt, and butter. And then I stockpile sour cream, cream cheese, and cottage cheese. So you want dairy and eggs. Now with this, I could make a microwave egg or fry an egg, and I could bake some bacon, and I could get by. I could make some soup with that. Okay, now the next thing is homemade peanut butter. So yesterday I made this peanut butter. This is the best one I ever made out of Dollar Tree Dollar Tree roasted peanuts, you know, the $1.25 package. And you get used to eating homemade peanut butter. Here it is. You can survive on this. You could put some jam on this if you wanted to. You know exactly what's in it, peanuts. So roast your peanuts at 200 on each side, 10 minutes. And if they have skin on them, roll them in between a paper towel, get the skin off, and put them in the blender. Pulse your roasted peanuts. I made sunflower butter last week. That was good too. And then when they start to come together, like in peanut butter, put about 1/2 tablespoon or a tablespoon and blend it, and you've got, voila, peanut butter. Now back to the cheese or the milk. Okay, the Oslo meal was came up by a Norwegian doctor for children in Norway. It was 3 vegetables or a salad, a small block of cheese, a glass of milk, 2 slices of bread and butter. So we have bread, we have butter, we have cheese, we have fruit, or, you know, 1/2 apple and or some vegetables. So that's why I bought 5 pounds of sliced cheese. Okay, another one is peanut butter sandwich, 1 milk. So instead of cheese, you're having peanut butter. It's cheaper. 1/2 apple and 2 graham crackers. That's what we used to eat all the time. I bought these for 47 cents. These are good with tea as well. Now, I want to give you, I was going to make thumbprint cookies, but I thought, no. I got these really good peanut butter cookies. Here they are. They're right here. And these are very delicious with tea as well. So I use my homemade butter, my homemade peanut butter. It is. And then I had these chocolate bars because I was making a lot of cookies. I was going to sell them and I never got around to it, so I'm just slowly eating them. 48 Hershey's Kisses. 1/4 cup shortening. So when you're using shortening, it's really cheap. 1/4 cup peanut butter. No, 3/4 cup peanut butter, 1/3 cup granulated sugar, and 1/3 cup brown sugar. And so I bought this today. Now, these are a luxury. They're not the cheapest. And I just shaved them off with a knife. But I thought I'm going to buy some more of these. Here they are. Okay, so we have the good butter, we have the good peanut butter, we have the good brown sugar, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons milk, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1.5 cups flour, 2 teaspoons salt, baking soda, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then granulated sugar. If you want to roll your cookies, you can get this recipe online. This is by far the best cookie recipe I have found for peanut butter cookies. All right, so we have bread, dairy, homemade peanut butter. Now the next one is soy. Now the thing about soy is soy can be grown year-round indoors. We want to start growing stuff indoors. And you can make soy milk or tofu. Number 5 is tuna. Cans of 5-ounce tunas. You need some fish and some nuts for complete amino acids. And number 6 is beans, rice, and potatoes. So I always tell my son, God forbid, if you ever have to eat beans, make sure you have potatoes. But I have a really good refried bean. You fry 2 pieces of bacon, then you fry a little piece of chorizo, and you have to be careful not to burn your chorizo. You fry a little piece of chorizo if you have it. Otherwise, just use lard, and then you put your cooked pinto beans and you mash them down, and you put some cheese. Back to cheese. I don't know. No, gravy is. We're coming to a couple of milk recipes. Rice, so you can make rice milk. It's better than nothing. And potatoes. When there is a potato shortage, people starve. Don't ever forget that. Potato soup. Okay, so now think about this. 3 vegetables, cheese, milk, bread, butter, and fruit. Instead of cheese, peanut butter. So vegetables, fruit, bread, butter, milk, or peanut butter. Okay, now for fruit. Okay, what's happening is fruit is getting expensive, and I'm looking for the big cans, and they're $3 now, and they're not very plentiful, and we better stock up because there's starting to be shortages. Dry fruit, jam, or applesauce. I can't easily find large cans for $3. British supermarkets are rationing fruit and vegetables, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and lettuce. So rationing is starting in Britain. Okay, now think about this. Flour, now this is the US. Flour, beef, pork, tomatoes, butter, sugar, eggs, and bananas. So in case you want to take a screenshot of the whole thing. Best to prepare little by little. Let's have the Julia Child's cornbread, because if you have to eat beans and rice, you're going to need cornbread. We eat honey on cornbread. 1 to 2 eggs, 1 cup milk, 1 teaspoon salt, 2 cups, 1/2 flour, 1/2 cornmeal, 2 to 4 tablespoons melted butter, 2 to 4 tablespoons sugar, and 1 tablespoon baking powder. Bake 425 for 30 minutes. Okay, that's like in a pie pan. If you make muffins, you have to watch it. But I do it just like I mix up any bread. I put all the dry ingredients, I mix those good, and then I put the wet ingredients in the middle. All right, I want to give you the salmon ball recipe and this. I have a lot of new followers. Hi, you guys. Okay, this is, don't buy cheese, make cream cheese at home in 5 minutes. So if you don't have any butter, make cream cheese. It's cheaper. Lunchtime, just eat a 1/2 can of soup and some homemade bread with butter. All right, now, okay, 2 liters milk. I always make half batches because this stuff, except for in the case of this butter, I will freeze that. 1 teaspoon salt, 2 tablespoons vinegar. So you heat the milk and the salt to boiling. Then you put 2 tablespoons vinegar, stirring constantly until it curdles and separates. At that point, you have cottage cheese. So you can make cream cheese to use just like butter that's cheaper. That buttermilk is like. I couldn't believe this stuff. I can really recommend going with 40% whipping cream. It makes almost all butter. Okay, strain. Then add 100 grams of melted butter. For the whole batch, it'd be a 1/2 cube. 2 spoons of sour cream. I buy sour cream and cream cheese. Then you blend it in the blender and you refrigerate it and you have cream cheese. And also I've done many videos on making yogurt. So you can have yogurt, cheese. Okay, how to make old-fashioned salmon balls. Okay, they tell the people in Europe to stockpile, so they were making salmon balls, and actually I think they're a little bit tastier than salmon patties. Debone and chop salmon, onion, 1 egg, 2 slices of bread for breadcrumbs, salt, pepper, garlic, 2 tablespoons mayonnaise, and fry in oil. So instead of hitting the panic button, make some bread and make some salmon balls. I think the salmon balls would be good on some pasta. All right, let me give you my base Boston baked bean recipe. So hopefully you stock pork and beans. You can put bacon, hot dogs, you can put pork sausage in it, or you can make it with no meat. Sausage or bacon, pork and beans, 1 tablespoon maple syrup or molasses or pancake syrup or brown sugar, a teaspoon mustard, and a can of tomatoes. I would start buying the big cans of tomatoes so you can make spaghetti. Not that big. Yeah, let's see. I want to give you guys this pea recipe. Heat 1 can of peas, or regular size can of peas, with salt, pepper, and sugar to taste. You have to heat them slowly so they get soft. Then make a white gravy. There we go. We need butter. Melt about a tablespoon. Add a little flour. Cook the raw taste out. Then get your powdered milk. I want to mention this stuff. You get 3 packages at Walmart. And these are $1 each, almost 4 cups, 3 3/4. And then you're always going to have milk. They also have a $20 bag when finances permit. So you add your milk little by little, and then put your milk and your peas in the blender and blend it. And then you have peas, and you can add some rice on the side or in it. I eat rice with hot dogs, and then I put milk and sugar on my rice. And then this is a really cheap and good, it makes a lot, soup. Pioneer Essentials cornmeal, salt, baking soda, molasses, so you can make baked beans, buttermilk, you can make it at home, egg, rice, raisins, vanilla, cinnamon, baking powder, oil or lard, you need your lard for your refried beans, flour, brown sugar. If you want to make it, add 1/4 cup molasses to 1 cup sugar, potatoes, milk, and cream. This is more the way I always stockpile food, but I want to branch out and be more broad-minded, and as the opportunity presents itself, pick up some of this stuff. All right, let me give you a shot of the page so you can take a screenshot if you wish. I think it's very important to get this stuff out because most likely everything is going to be okay, but it goes back to, could somebody do something stupid? Tuna sandwich, this is a good one. Tuna sandwich with chips or crackers and milk. Bologna sandwich with cookies, which we made, and milk. Okay, now let's go over meals. Like, let's pretend like something happens. Depression meal. 1 portion meat, eggs, fish, cheese, or beans. 1 portion potatoes, pasta, or bread. 2 portions of vegetables, and your dessert would be fruit. Now let's do hobo stew. During the 1900s, this was actually like, you know, like street people. They used to be called hobos. I had this wealthy boyfriend once who said he would almost rather be young and poor and a hobo again, almost. I cracked up. I go, yeah, but not, you wouldn't want to. You'd almost. Okay, hamburger, vegetables, and canned tomatoes. So, hobo camps. So don't discount these homeless people. So it's going to be hamburger, vegetables, it'd be potatoes for sure, and canned tomatoes. Okay, let's go to peasants in the Middle Ages. Thick, rich soup, vegetables, grains like barley, pea, oats, and rye, and dark, crusty bread. You want to have bread if you have to eat soup. You want to have bread if you have to eat gravy. I was working with this guy when he first got to the country. He put his gravy in his mixed vegetables, and I said, "Don't you think your gravy on bread?" And he looked at me like, "What are you talking about?" Okay. Hoover stew, macaroni, hot dogs, tomatoes, and corn. So it's just like the hobo stew, but the Hoover stew was hot dogs and macaroni, or cream chip beef. So these are like okay, so hopefully if things go bad, you have a little butane heater. Okay, refried beans. Now this surprised me because refried beans only came on 100 years ago in northern Mexico. It was actually Tex-Mex. Potatoes, lard or bacon. So you cook your refried beans and you fry them in lard or bacon. Mashed and fried in lard or bacon grease, onion, garlic, spices, chili powder, cumin, bell or jalapeno peppers. I bought jalapeno peppers. I'm buying everything pickled. And you can use citrus. I've heard of that. Citrus juice. Okay, now slaves. Molasses, salt pork, okra, peas, collard greens, turnip greens, black-eyed peas. Okay, I'm not from the South, but my mother-in-law was, and my son goes, "I hate black-eyed peas, but I like them the way you make them." And I go, that's because I make them good. Okay, it's ham bouillon cubes, which you cannot find. And it's black-eyed peas, salt, pepper, and sugar. That's going to give you good black-eyed peas. Cornmeal, so you can make cornbread, potatoes, yams, and codfish. Out here, a lot of people eat canned halibut. And they make it just like mayonnaise, and they crush up crackers and put that in your, just like tuna fish with mackerel, and you crush up saltine crackers, and that sounds horrible, but that's actually good. Macaroni and cheese, 1769. It came from the 4th century in Italy and medieval England, but was introduced in America thanks to Thomas Jefferson after a trip to France. Thomas Jefferson was actually responsible for a lot of things that were brought to the Americas. So, this is going to last a long time. Butter is one of the most important things you want to have to go with your bread, along with homemade bread. But if you don't have any butter, then make fry bread. Okay, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and God bless you all.